Hi, everybody. This is the Bricks and Bleachers podcast. All things Chicago Cubs in under 10 minutes. Cubs with a big win last night on the West Coast. The win streak is up to 10. Offense is heating up. Pitching staff beleaguered by injuries. A look at what's working and news and notes from around Major League Baseball are all just ahead. Cubs are 17-9, tied atop the National League Central following a 6-4 win last night at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers led 4-0 after 6. Cubs put up 3 in the 7th, tied it in the 8th, and then tacked on the 2 go-ahead runs in the 9th inning. Emmett Sheehan mowed down the Cubs early on. When you look at the Dodgers rotation, he's not one that you are most fearful of, but he was in firm control much of the night. 10 strikeouts before getting knocked out of the game in the 7th. His exit helped shift the game as the Cubs didn't have any issues against the Dodgers bullpen. Meanwhile, for the Cubs, Jameson Taillon continues to struggle with control. 3 walks in 5 innings last night. He's issued 3 walks or more in 4 of his 5 starts this season. He left the game trailing 4-0. Cubs offense got going late, accounting for 6 runs in the final 3 innings. Dansby Swanson, a lot of power early on this year, had a walk-off hit on Thursday that a 2-run homer in the 9th last night to help the Cubs secure their 10th straight win. Ryan Rollison pitched 3 innings and earned the win. Corbin Martin with the save by hurling a scoreless 9th inning. Let's talk about the Cubs pitching situation. It's a closer by committee right now for the Cubs. Daniel Palencia on the injured list for a couple of weeks and probably won't come back for another week and a half or so. Caleb Thielbar, the most recent reliever to go to the IL after a hamstring issue in Thursday's 9th inning. That same game saw Javier Assad pitch the 10th inning. Assad made 3 starts before moving back to the pen with the return of Michael Boyd to the starting rotation. At the moment, the Cubs have a good chunk of their opening day bullpen on the injured list. Palencia, Thielbar, Phil Maton, Ethan Roberts, Hunter, Harvey. A lot of roster movement in the bullpen just since opening day 1 month ago. Meanwhile, the Cubs starters have proven really effective despite losing Cade Horton for the rest of the year and Michael Boyd for a couple of weeks. Cubs starters have posted an ERA of 3.5. That's 7th best in the majors. Shota Imanaga appears to have returned to his 2024 form. Colin Ray stepping up, being quite effective too. Update on Cade Horton. He underwent a full Tommy John procedure 9 days ago. Recovery timeline is 15 to 16 months. So pretty impactful, not just to this season, but much of next season as well. Time for this and that. News and notes from around Major League Baseball. Paul Skeens with a masterful performance last night against the Brewers. A perfect game through 6 2/3 innings. It's the longest perfect game bid by a Pirates pitcher in nearly 20 years. Also last night, Cincinnati Reds with another comeback win. Nathaniel Lowe with a walk-off home run. Reds are 11-0 this year in games decided by 2 runs or less. Wild play Wednesday night. A line drive came back to Mariners pitcher Logan Gilbert. The ball got stuck in his uniform. It found a way to sneak between the buttons and get lodged in there. The play was ruled a single because the ball is declared dead once it gets stuck in one's uniform, and I don't think that's ever happened before. And a great story of not giving up. Peyton Gray made his Major League debut Thursday night with the Rangers. He's 30 years old, a relief pitcher, and finally made it to the big leagues Thursday night after many years in the minors, independent leagues, even playing overseas for a bit. He worked a perfect inning, including a strikeout of Pirates prospect Connor Griffin. Now, let's get back to the Chicago Cubs. They're tied with the Cincinnati Reds atop the National League Central, each team 17-9. The Reds team we're seeing this year is the Reds team I thought we were going to see last year. I thought they were going to be competing for the division last year. Fun team to watch, and they are finally winning this year. Cubs will host the Reds the first week of May. National League Central is exciting from top to bottom. 1 month into the season, and all 5 teams in the division have a winning record heading into play on Saturday. Milwaukee has now lost 3 in a row. They've fallen 3.5 games back, but they remain 13-12. And if the season ended today, National League Central would have 3 teams in the postseason. Cubs winning the division, Reds and Pirates claiming wild cards. But obviously there's a long way to go. Cubs are on a 10-game win streak. They are undefeated since I saw them in Philadelphia a couple Tuesdays ago. Cubs took 2 of 3 in that Philadelphia series, then went home and swept the Mets in 3 games, and then took 4 games against the Phillies at Wrigley Field before traveling to L.A. and taking the series opener against the Dodgers last night. By my count, Cubs have scored 72 runs during this 10-game win streak, and quite honestly, it could have been more. Cubs have had a couple of games during this stretch where they've left like a dozen guys on base or more, including 17 left on base in Thursday's win at Wrigley Field. A lot of traffic on the base paths here the last week and a half. Cubs are capitalizing for the most part, but one could argue they are still leaving plenty of runs on the field. Game 2 of the Cubs and Dodgers tonight, 7:15 Eastern on Fox. Colin Ray and Roki Sasaki are the starters. It'll be Colin Ray's 3rd start for the Cubs this season, his 6th appearance overall. He's 3-0 so far with an ERA of 3. Sasaki has struggled, 0-2 ERA north of 6. And then Shota Imanaga and Justin Robleski, the Sunday starters. Imanaga has really looked good this year, but so has Robleski. Much like Sheehan, last night's starters for the Dodgers, you don't think Justin Robleski is going to be one of the tougher guys to face when you're up against the Dodgers, but that is the case. He might be their best pitcher so far outside of Shohei Ohtani, and the Cubs will escape this weekend's series without facing Ohtani, Yamamoto, or Glasnow on the mound. But the Dodgers starters have been good so far this season. I believe the 2nd best ERA in the league behind the Yankees. These teams are similar, the Cubs and Dodgers, in so many ways. Both with a stacked lineup from 1 to 9, starters holding the opposition, and injuries leading to a lot of bullpen surprises through 1 month of this season. But so far, both teams keep winning 17-9, both likely to be playing in October. Could easily see them as a postseason series, but they will definitely meet again at Wrigley in early August. So we get to see the Cubs and Dodgers this weekend and again in August. And I'd say perhaps in October as well. Cubs continue this road trip with 3 games in San Diego, Monday through Wednesday, to wrap up a stretch of 13 games without an off day. Dansby Swanson and Nico Hoerner, both with a lot of power early this year. That was something Hoerner really struggled with last year, not that he's ever really been a power hitter. He had a power drought last year, and he's definitely gone back the other way this year. This might be his most powerful April of his career. For Nico Hoerner, it's a nice surprise, as others in the Cubs lineup have struggled. The guys you would expect to bring the power, but Bregman and PCA have been turning it around recently. PCA with a 3-hit night a couple nights ago. Michael Busch went forever without finally getting a home run, and now he's got 2. Moises Ballesteros been a real tough out as well through the first 26 games. Follow us and comment anytime on X or Facebook, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. All things Chicago Cubs in under 10 minutes. This is the Bricks and Bleachers Podcast.